So, Cannon, a lot of people are talking about your offense this year, but what do you feel like your defense brings to the table? What are you guys going to be running?
So, we have a lot of guys returning. Really our whole defensive line's returning with Brady Brewster, Steven Souls is in there. We got two All-State players, Carson Whitehead at safety, J.J. Faust coming back in there, and we'll throw in Darius Redmond and Aiden Green, one of the two best receivers in the state. We'll throw them in at corner, and so where they can cover guys. We last year we ran a four-man front, so we'll run the same thing again, and we're excited to be powerful again this year.
Talking about JJ and then Aiden and Adarius as well, how well do you feel like you guys are able to kind of flex those guys around and use that athleticism at different spots?
Well, when you can play receiver, you can really play almost at any position on the field, skill-wise. I think, that, they could, play corner, they can play safety, they can probably play linebacker if they wanted to, but, with how good they are, they can play anywhere.
Now, I heard Coach Lowe earlier this week. I was out there a little bit watching you guys, and then last night during the 7-on-7, he talked a little bit about that leadership and about how that mindset needs to change for you guys. How do you work on that as a senior leader and going in?
Well, it's more like working as a team. We didn't have that last year. We just had a lot of guys, who were about themselves, about their stats, and, that didn't work out for us, obviously, losing first round of the playoffs. So, this year we're focusing on more as a team and more, not, if we make a mistake, move on from it and, just worry about the next play.
And then going into that, knowing, how much talent you guys do have and that early exit last year, how much motivation does that give for you and for other guys, going into your last year and knowing what you want to accomplish, kind of what you want to leave at Powell?
We left, Walker Valley last year, devastated, obviously, and it motivated us that next year we got to do better. Obviously, we just didn't have our heads on straight going into that game, and we know, this year the expectation is to win a state championship in 5A. So I think that's what we're all focused on this year, and I'm excited for it.
How much excitement is there kind of for that first game against Anderson County? Obviously, Jordan had a couple of big highlight plays last year against him, but how do you, go into that this year, just the mindset right now?
I'm more excited about, it's going to be a packed house on a Friday night, first game of the season. It's just, last year it was a heck of a game, came down to the last second. So, I hope to not expect that again as a nail biter. I hope to just, beat them, but I'm excited for it.
And then when you think about your senior year, your last time coming out with Welcome to the Jungle and everything playing, what excitement does that give you thinking about that atmosphere one more time?
When you walk out of that locker room and you hear Welcome to the Jungle start playing, I get chills running up and down my body, about to run out of that tunnel, and then you hear the crowd going. So
Thanks, man.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Jaden Collins, class of 22, and then wide receiver.
All right, Jaden, first of all, I was at a practice a couple days earlier this week and got a chance to talk to Aiden Green and Darius Redmond, and they both mentioned you as the third person, kind of that wide receiver core that people need to look out for. But talk about your offense this year and the way that Jordan's been spinning it, the way that you guys hope to kind of avenge that first-round loss last year.
Obviously, that first-round loss was very, very awful. It was very tragic, but Jordan is a very, very talented QB, especially for it to be his first ever varsity year ever at QB, and he had that strong of a year. We have a very, very, very strong receiving core. As you can tell, we have a bunch of raw talent everywhere on the outside, the inside. You got Aiden, AD, both have really good hands. JJ, very strong. Just have a bunch of raw talent everywhere around.
What do you feel like you bring to the table in that offense and how much fun it could be to watch?
Oh, well, speed. Definitely got it there on speed. Really good hands. I'm trying to say, but most receiving yards last year. It's just a bunch of raw talent everywhere around. I can't brag on me myself because I can't do nothing with that Jordan. Jordan can't do nothing with the line. Can't do nothing with anybody on that team.
Talking about that team mindset a little bit, I've heard Coach Lowe talk about that and making sure to promote that over kind of the individual approach. How much are you guys working on that and just bonding in the locker room to try to work on it to avoid that loss like last year?
We work on it every day. In the weight room, in the locker room, on the field, everything as a family. If one person get more catches in practice, we just brag on them and just hope we get it more the next day. It's really all it is. It's a team sport.
Yeah. And then lastly, talk about your defense a little bit. I talked to Carson a little bit earlier, but what you guys bring to the table there and how much versatility there is across this team.
There is a bunch of raw talent on defense because we have players on offense and receivers that can play both sides of the way. Carson Whitehead, All-State, very, very, very good safety. Aiden Green, you got AD at corner, new freshman, Connor Wheeler. Very good for a freshman, very, very good. We have a bunch of raw talent everywhere around.
And then lastly, what excites you about this season and just kind of knowing how much you can put that talent together?
It excites me a lot, especially that we came short where we wanted to last year, and we're very hyped, very excited.